Oh, as always, flowing from the survival scrolls, I am your gracious host, Mr. Bobby Shades, and this is Bridging Games. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, What Would You Do? Let's go. So, family, you see a crime going down. What do? Do you pull out your cell phone? Do you yell, "World Star"? We live in an age where a lot of people are carrying things. Hell, I ain't even gonna lie, I carry something too. It's true. But that's the age that we live in. Knife, gun, box cutter, razor blade in the mouth. Young ladies that still do that old school type of defense. Doesn't do like major damage, but it definitely causes one to pause if you're striking right. What do you do, family? Do you get involved? I remember I was in a department store some years back. It wasn't like it is now, and where you see across the nation scores and scores of individuals just going into department stores and just taking stuff. Just taking it. No security guard. They make sure that there's no security guards nowadays. But it was part of that mentality on that given day. That's what I said a few years back. And saw a gentleman taking some stuff out, carrying a big bag. I wanted to trip him. I wanted to bump up into him. I felt like, how dare you? How dare you? Don't get me wrong. There have been instances in where an individual has stolen. Recently, I read about an individual who stole something and he returned back the item. I forgot for what, but it was a humbling moment. Like, wow. The movie Barbershop. And again, anyone who knows me knows I speak in movies and music. The movie Barbershop. You had a gentleman that robbed. He got a haircut and he dashed out. And he came back and he paid Ice Cube back. I believe it was Ice Cube. Barbershop movie. I think three installments of it. Very good movie. Ice Cube. I can't think of the Eve and others. You know, really good movie. And he returned it back, the money, because he said, I just needed to get a job. You know, I needed to look presentable. And when he got his first little check, he gave it back. So there are instances in where I've seen, you know, an individual go in. I've seen criminals, primarily on YouTube, you know, apologize, miss, I'm sorry, I just gotta feed my family. I gotta, you know, I'm just trying to get by. Am I condoning criminality? Of course not. But I can understand that. But when you have these scores of son of a bitches that just rob, steal, you know, maim, for what? Do you get involved? There's a show with John Quinones, 2020. What would you do? So I'm asking you, family, what would you do? I've seen and where they've done experiments and where a guy is, you know, trying to pull on a little girl, whatever. And I never forgot this one. It was these two guys, and they looked, they were like, what's going on here? And they broke up. They were surrounding the dude, and they were like, whoa, we just want to see what you would have done. So just an experiment. Oh, you know, we saw you messing with that little girl, get with my sister, whatever. You know, there are people that would get involved, but what prompted me to ask this question was recently there was a little girl, a 6-year-old girl, who was on her scooter in her little neighborhood, whatever, what have you. Yeah. And 3 youths say no more than middle schoolers, came, punched her in the chest, not to hurt her, beat the hell out of her. No. Just to shock her. Not to say that I'm condoning that. But they stole her scooter. If you saw that, what would you do? Would you grab those boys? Would you beat the shit out of those boys? Would you hem them up and grab them? Slap the shit. My slaps are hard. There's a reason why, but my slaps are very hard. Would you do that? Would you break their jaw? You see, I knew a woman who worked at a cheap motel. Cheap motel. And I never forgot, she would tell me different stories, but there was one in particular of a guy dragging in a girl who was out of it. Either drunk or high or what have you. He was dragging her in. I said, what'd you do? I ain't get involved. That was her answer. It's like, would you call the cops? I would have called the cops. Be like, no, do a wellness check. Who is this woman? Do you know her? I see you dragging her, something. Or would you just let it be, family? Would your attitude be, and I'm not knocking what your decision would be, okay? Please don't think that I'm trying to question what you would do, because the truth of the matter is that none of us know fully, unless we are fully armed and we know we got this. Many of us don't know what we would do. So it's just a question, just to have a conversation. What would you do? You see something going down. Now, don't get me wrong, the cell phone users, the ones that pull out the cell phones, that's a necessity, because that shows evidence of what is taking place. But when you see, I never forgot, there was a young lady in Brooklyn, New York. She fought like 3 girls. And she fought. She's a small little thing. One of them was not a big bruiser type of girl, but a bigger girl, so to speak. She was fighting. And you heard the cheers, they say in soccer, when you have riots, and where people in the stadium are it's a pack mentality. And they were like, oh yeah, oh, world star. They had their phones out, but no one helped that girl. Until I think a security came, but no one really helped her. She fought valiantly. I have to give it to her. Even though she got her ass whooped, she held her own for the most part. She held her own. See a guy pulling on a girl. And I know some of you may be saying, yeah, but how many stories in where someone came in, they became, the valiant hero, and next thing you know, they got shot, they got killed, trying to intercede and trying to intervene and trying to be the better person. And they got hurt, they got killed in the process of it. I get it. But with the rise of crime, would you get involved? Would you have a vigilante mentality? Would you do a citizen's arrest? Would numbers make a difference? And what I mean by numbers is that you may not do it by yourself, but you will definitely do it with someone else next to you. You'll be like, yo, you want to do this? Let's go get this guy or girl or whatever. See a guy put a roofie in a girl's drink. Would you tell her? As she stepped away, would you say, hey, don't drink that? Don't do that. Nah. Don't you know this dude? Would you get involved, family? Or would you let it be and let it play out? If you see a woman very belligerent in a man's face, nudging him, calling him all sorts of disrespectful things, and he slaps the shit out of her. Would you get involved? To say, hey, you did what you did? Or would you be like, nah, she deserved it? There's so many different scenarios. What would you do, family? I remember one time, and this wasn't a crime. I was on a train. Can I go this way? This guy took up the whole he took up two parts of the street. And there was a gentleman who was having a seizure. I'm sitting on the train and I'm watching this guy, and he's leaning forward and he's teetering over. I was like, whoa, because he would have hit his head. I saw it. The man would have hit his head. I was like, whoa. And I went and I grabbed him just as he was falling. And people are looking like, wasn't that packed on the train. It really wasn't that packed. It was a little after 9/11. It was November, I believe it was. So of course people are on high alert because they don't know what else is gonna pop off. You know, I can understand the apprehension, and I was like, anyone help me, please help me. For about a good minute, nobody. And then a young man came, spiky, crazy looking hair. It was a black guy. It's like a punk rocker type of dude. And he came. He said, what do you want me to do? I said, got a comb? He said, yeah. I said, let's try to stick it under his tongue. He goes, why? I said, because he'll swallow his tongue. He's having an epileptic seizure. He's having a seizure. Oh, okay. And he's looking, he didn't have it. So I said, all right, let's turn him on the side. You know, a different angle as opposed to on his back. And he was on his side. And he was drooling. And then I got up and I pulled the cord. Never thought I'd do something like that. Pull the cord. You know, I always thought that the train would jerk. No, it slowed down. But I got involved because I couldn't see this man in need not have aid, not have somebody come by and be like, let me help you. I'd do it again. And at that store where a lot of people are stealing stuff, if I can have an opportunity to do it, I'd get involved. I'd push him, trip him, throw something at him, mace him, something. But that's just me. Am I saying that I will get involved in all instances? No. It's just sizing up the situation. Even sometimes, I used to work at a hospital. Emergency room. Girl came in, victim of domestic violence. And I remember a nurse, she's since died. Her name was Anne Marie Stefanik. She passed away. I wasn't a fan of hers, but she was who she was. She was low-key racist, you know, because there was a combination of white and Caribbean workers. And she always had kind of this little tiny little comments and like, these are my blacks. She was involved with this gentleman. Never forgot that. Anyway, that's her personal business. But just fascinating, this individual she was. These are my blacks. Anyway, she got involved and she got some domestic help hotline and was telling the girl, you need to go do this and this and this. And her boyfriend came. The girl told the boyfriend. And they both cursed her out. Mind your effing business. You white. Wow. And she was like, you know, I remember saying, you know, all I did was just go to help, and this is what I get. I said, yeah, it's disgusting. But she's a victim of mentality. She's a victim. She's a mental victim. I'm not saying it right. She's mentally a victim as well. She's mentally a victim as well. She didn't know any better. She thought, and there have been many women that have said that, they thought that the violence is love. I remember I knew an individual who was dating a guy years ago. And the guy, she used to say that sex was very brutal. just pounding. Never forgot that story. And she said she didn't know any better, so she equated it to love. I thought him getting himself off and me doing that for him was love, as opposed to, yeah, you know, let it be a mutual. Anyway, family, that's all I have for you today. Let's give thanks and praise that we are 6 feet above ground and not below, and that those in our inner circle are in the same vein. Whatever you do today, family, make a statement. If silence is your statement, make it loud and proud. Eyes wide shut. I am your gracious host, Mr. Bobby Shades, and this is Bridging Fears. I want you guys to like, share, and subscribe on this channel. It helps the algorithm. I will continue to say it. All of us influencers will continue to say it. It really does help. I know this one's a little bit longer, but you know, it was a conversation that needed to be had. What would you do? And with that, family, I bid you adieu. Stay safe, stay lovely, stay sexy, but most of all, my motto, my creed, my seed, my belief, stay safe. The streets are hot. Bridging Fears, Bobby Shades. See you in the next clip.